James Ham, ESPN 1320. De'Aaron, just the way you guys responded again and again in that game, just how proud are you of your team for being able to withstand all of that, including the wild mess with Sabonis and Draymond?
Oh, extremely. I think that brought us together. HB brought us. We huddled up and we're like, yo, we have to win this game, especially everybody thought he'd be ejected. So when that happens, usually that team kind of comes together and goes on a run. But we were able to negate that, and I think we finished the game extremely well in those last few minutes.
Yeah, De'Aaron, Brendan Nunez, Kings Herald. Second straight really good game from Malik. Can you just speak to the importance of having secondary playmaking out there and how it makes the game easier for everybody but yourself specifically?
Yeah, he's been doing that all season. Obviously, we want him to do it throughout the season more consistently. But when you have some rest in between games, obviously, and also playing the same team twice, and you get to be able to adjust to coverages that they throw at you. I think he responded extremely well. Him and Davion. Obviously, last game it was him and Trey. This game it was him and Davion stepped up big time for us.
De'Aaron, Tony Harvey, Tony Harvey, NBC Sports Radio. The last game, the Warriors had 31 assists, and that evaporated down to 18. What are you guys doing? What do you guys do tonight? To limit them, in those passes and finding those open lanes.
I think a big part of it was Draymond. He had 11 assists in the first game. We go back, we make adjustments. And if he's in a double-digit assist type of game, then they're having a good game. They have a flow going to it. So we just wanted to be able to disrupt it. I think they said we had 24 deflections. How many steals? 11 steals, 20 turnovers. I think we were just being extremely disruptive, trying to be physical without fouling. I feel like obviously some guys had a good game, but I feel like we kind of disrupted the flow of their game.
Back here, Sean Cunningham, Fox 40. Obviously, it's an ugly moment with Draymond. I know you guys are really tight with him, and obviously with Sabonis. Does that change anything in your mind, seeing an ugly moment like that, and especially the way maybe he riled up the crowd after?
Going against him and some guys in this league, that it's going to get physical. Obviously, that shouldn't happen. But at the end of the day, we're protecting our teammate. And that is what it is at the end of the day.
Mark Haynes, Sacramento Observer. De'Aaron, this is your second great playoff game, playoff game of your career. Is it safe to say that you're built for this? I'll let
the fans do that. But even so, offensively, I think I had a decent game, 10 for 23. Even though some people shoot 43% for the season. I tell Malik, yo, I can't shoot 50% every game. But for me, I think the big thing was, the 3 steals. I think I had 1 block, but I thought I had 2 blocks. But the 3 steals in the block, I think, was bigger for us than me just putting the ball in the basket. And then 9 assists, I think I had two turnovers. And I think as a team, we had 2 turnovers in the second half alone. So that was huge for us.
De'Aaron, Joe Davidson, Sacramento Bee. Can you talk a little bit more about Davion Mitchell and just his effort and his energy? And do you ever go against him in practice, and how's that go?
Yeah, he was big time for us tonight. Obviously, we all know what he can do defensively. He hounded Steph most of the game. And then, obviously, what he added to us today offensively was huge. The big 3 in the corner, honestly, I would say was like the nail in the coffin. And yeah, I go against Day every day in practice. That's why y'all see what I do out here, because I'm not going against Davion out here. So he's made me a better player since he's been here. Obviously, he has the nickname Off Night, but I don't think people realize how he moves laterally and then how strong he actually is. So yeah, going up against that anytime we scrimmage or do stuff has made me a much better player.
Hey, De'Aaron, Matt George, ABC 10. I don't know how you feel about milestones necessarily, but this is the first time in the Steph, Clay, Draymond era that the Warriors have gone down 0-2 in a playoff series. Does that mean anything to you or to the team?
I would say for us, we knew that we needed to be better at home. And in these first 2 games, we protected home court. And I think that's about all we're taking from it. We protected home court. Now we have to go in their building where they're one of the best teams at home in the league and try to win a game.
Aaron Jason Anderson from the Sacramento Bee. To follow up on that, how much better does it feel to go up 2-0 at home as you go to San Francisco? How much more confidence does that give you than maybe being in a 1-1 situation?
It feels good. It definitely feels good just being able to protect home court. I mean, that's what you play, the entire season for, is to try to get home court advantage as much as you can throughout the playoffs. So for us to be able to protect that, I think is definitely huge for us. And, I mean, it builds confidence day after day, game after game. When you're winning a game in a playoff series, it makes you, it builds up your confidence. Obviously, you don't want to overreact or go into a game overconfident, but I mean, you put yourself in that position, so you have the right to be confident. But we know that, we go and watch film, we go back to the drawing board, we see what we need to adjust on, and we play the next game.
Another game where the shots didn't really fall as much. How do you guys keep that offensive pressure consistently throughout when you don't see that ball go in?
I mean, the ball keeps moving. We got great looks. I think we just missed, and I think shots will start falling. But we continue to play the same way. Just because shots aren't going in, we don't stray away from anything. And I think we got to the basket a lot. We touched the paint a lot. We were able to get kickouts. And when they did go down, they were big for us. So you just stay the course. Just because you're missing shots, you don't change what you're doing out there.
Just want to get your perspective on Herter, how he's defending Clay. Clay did, get a couple big shots down the stretch and stuff, but just want to get your, commentary on Herter's work on Clay.
Yeah, Clay's going to make shots regardless of what's going on. I mean, a lot of times, especially in this league with guys and how talented they are, unless you're blocking the shot, then it's hard. You just want to you try to contest as heavily as possible and hope they miss at times. But Kev was big for us. Just being able to put pressure on him, be physical. Clay is strong. He pushes you to get you into screens, and I think Kev was big time for that. And I think he either blocked one or two of Clay's jumpers. So he was big on that end for us.
De'Aaron Jason Anderson again from the Bee. There's a report here that Domas is undergoing X-rays on his ribs and his lungs after what happened there with Draymond. Do you want to speak to just the beating that he takes consistently and go any further as to what happened tonight?
Yeah, I mean, he's down there. He led the league in rebounding. He scores a lot of points in the restricted area. And he gets hit. He gets hit all game. He gets grabbed. He gets tackled. Obviously, at times he says something, but most of the time he doesn't complain. He gets up, he gets back on defense, and we've talked about this before. That ignites a team. If your best player is down there getting beat up, and at times he doesn't say anything, he gets back, then everybody else knows that if something happens to them, if you may get fouled, then you need to get back on defense. So it's big for us. Obviously, we hope our brother is okay. We hope he's not injured. Even just outside of basketball, if you fracture a rib or punctured lung, like that's a serious injury. So we just hope for the best right now.